Hey guys, how you doing? Just want to make sure my working. Hold on. Let's see. Yes, should be working. Sorry, I didn't check the settings before I started. So yes, this is the January 2016 Q&A. So my plan is to try to do a Q&A every month. It's been 2 months and I've done one every month, so it's been pretty good. Like I said, I always like doing these Q&As because it gives me a chance to answer your questions. We have a fun time, and it's cool. So I'm going to, again, try to do these every month and keep up with it. So we'll see. I did it for December, did it for January. See if I can do it for February. So as we wait, definitely get your questions in, and we'll answer some questions. So I got one question on Twitter, so I'll probably answer that first, and then go through. I know I'm like 3 minutes early, so just want to wait until. So let me reboot the page here. All right, so I shared it on Twitter and Facebook, so hopefully people know. I know this is kind of a last minute thing also because I just saw they had kind of the day free, so I wanted to do it today, and that's what I ended up doing. All right, so let's get into some questions here. So let's answer the first Twitter question, which is from Raza O, and their question is, is 2016 going to be all about character miniseries instead of universe-wide events? DC looks to have so many minis. I hope it's more miniseries. I would like to see that than just, oh my god, big events, but I would like to see some ongoing series too. But I agree with DC. It seems like they're doing a lot of miniseries recently, like Wonder Woman, the Green Lantern Corps. I think these are all just that came out this week. Superman. I think next week they have Poison Ivy coming out. So a lot of minis, but I'm glad at least DC's getting some new titles out there because it's been a while since they released new #1. So I hope this is the year for DC because last year they kind of had a messy year. So I think they need to have some more exciting things this year coming. So hopefully then. That was a Twitter question, but now I'm going to go to the actual chat as I see more people are coming in. All right. So Nestor Peraza says, what's the first comic that you've ever read? I don't really remember, honestly. I read comic books, I started reading comic books a really long time ago since I was a kid, and my dad read comics to me. I think the first ever comic book I was read too, like my dad read, was like a Superman comic, like a Silver Age Superman comic. But one I actually read myself, I would say it was probably a Spider-Man comic. I don't really remember which one, but it was probably a Spider-Man book. All right, let's go into more stuff. 92 says, what was the worst story you ever read? I don't know. Again, this is another question where it's like I've read so many comics, so just to pick out one of the worst stories I've ever read, I don't know. It's hard. I try to do it like every year, like on our Frontline Awards, we did like the worst comic we read. So that's a little bit easier to do it yearly because I read a lot of books. This week I actually read 30 books, which is crazy. So that's 1 week. And think about my whole entire life, how many books I've read. So it's kind of hard to say, yes, that was the worst comic I ever read. So it's a bit of a harder question. All right. So we got more questions here. Comic Book 1992 says, do you feel Spider-Man should on TV show, not movies anymore? So he's asking, should he have a TV show? I think Spider-Man's too big of a character to have a TV show. I think they're going to always try to sell him as a movie, and hopefully he does okay in Civil War in his own solo movie. All right. Tevye asks, any opinion on Secret Wars ending and it falling apart? Secret Wars, you could definitely go check out my review for issue 9. I just posted that this week, so check that out for my full thoughts on that. So yeah, answer to that. Traven Johnson says, why do you think people can relate to comics so much? I think, it's the same thing as why can't people relate to literature or just stories in general. I think stories are there for, it's a hard question. stories, people relate to stories because they find something in themselves from the character, or they just find enjoyment in the story itself. I don't know, the comic book medium, especially the superhero medium, I think it's because of the grounded stories too, seeing the normal person, them being a hero, and they're still dealing with struggles that we deal with as people. So I think that's it. That's a really hard question, a good question too. All right, moving on to Tevye asks, question, what is your opinion on the Valiant Cinematic Universe competing against Marvel vs. DC Comics? I don't know if they are. Like, they haven't had one movie come out yet, so I don't think they're competing. I mean, unless, like, 2 movies come out and they do really well, then I would say they're competing against Marvel and DC, but none of their movies have come out yet. All right. Sir Edmund 13 says, hey, Elvis, Dunin again. Hold on. So what continuing series do you hope doesn't make it past 2016? I never hope for a series not to continue because, there's people that enjoy, even if I don't enjoy it, they enjoy the series. So I never wish this series needs to end. At least at this point, I can't think of any comic. I just drop it if I really don't like it. Deltano Green asks, do you think Linda Carter will be in the Wonder Woman movie? I heard there's a rumor that she might make a cameo. I think if they put her in the movie, it'll be a cameo type thing, and that'll be awesome. Definitely. Alan Mullins, is that Superman shirt, Cat, or Supergirl shirt? Actually, it's a Superwoman shirt. Now, I got this a long time ago. I had like Midtown Comics, or the website I got it on. And it was when the Supergirl arc Superwoman was going on, who is Superwoman, and that might be playing in the Supergirl television show. It's written by Sterling Gates, one of my favorite. And also one of my favorite arcs is when we find out that Lucy Lane is actually Superwoman, and she was kind of played as a villain, and her costume was this red and white. So this is actually a Superwoman shirt. I get that question a lot though, like, oh, awesome Superman shirt, awesome Supergirl shirt. It's actually a Lucy Lane shirt. So that's pretty cool. I've had this for a really long time. All right, just weaving out some of the comments and getting to the questions. Yeah, so definitely ask more questions. Sir Edmund 13, have you read the Secret Wars parody called Everything is Illuminated? There's a Tumblr account with some snippets. It was awesome. I did not read that. All right. Moving on to Comic Book Fan 1992. Did you read Witchblade comic yet? How was it? I haven't had a chance to read it yet. My good friend Chris, Mount Vernon Kid, gave me the omnibus of it. But currently, I just finished. Don't know why I couldn't say currently. I just finished the Jessica Jones series. A look back at Jessica Jones. Even though I read Alias before, I was rereading it. So I just finished that. I'm gonna take a couple of weeks, I think, and figure out what I want to. The next show I want to do for Comic Frontline, like back issue type show. It might be Witchblade, so I'm like waiting to see if I want to do that. So again, waiting, or I might do Saga. Like I've read like half of the omnibus, or like 6 issues of it. So I'm thinking which one I want to do. I don't know. I don't want to say probably Saga, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. So I will let you know. I have it, and I'm definitely excited to read it. But also 30 comics this week, guys. There's a lot to read. All right. Traven Johnson says, what made you fall in love with comics? I don't remember a moment that says, hey, I love comics because of this. Again, it's just a thing that's always been in my life. But I just always liked the genre. And I guess it was the movies, it was the TV shows when I grew up, like X-Men Evolution, Spider-Man, the 90s cartoon, a lot of the Static Shock, Teen Titans, love those shows. And then, the movies coming out at that time too, like Spider-Man movies, the X-Men movies, I love those. But also I've always read comics even before that. But I remember getting interested in certain things because of it. So like X-Men Evolution got me interested in Kitty Pryde's character, and that's why I'm a huge Kitty fan. I've been a huge Kitty fan for such a long time. And I remember the moment where I said, hey, you know, I guess Spider-Girl is my favorite character. It was that hard moment to say Kitty wasn't my favorite character anymore, but she's still my second favorite. So a very close second, because I actually read Kitty Pryde comics before Spider-Girl comics. So yeah, I've loved comics all my life, and yeah, hopefully that answers the question. All right. Second one, no, not sorry at all. I definitely love hearing everyone's questions. All right. Alan Mullen says, Kat, which cover of Power Rangers did you get? I actually forgot to ask my store to get the pink Power Ranger one, so I just kind of got a random cover, and that was the blue Power Ranger. So I actually got the blue Power Ranger cover, but I have the pink Power Ranger exclusive cover, like, print from San Diego Comic-Con that hangs up on my poster wall, which is not here. A lot of people ask me why I do my live shows in this room instead of the room where I usually do my reviews. It's because that's like a wooden chair, so it's like kind of hard to sit on for like 2 hours or an hour. Even though I do my reviews for a very long time, for probably 2 hours to record everything and talk straight, you know, talking all the way. So that's hard too. But I'm just more comfortable here, and also the room I record in is always really cold. So this room is too, but at least you have a couch. So I know that question wasn't asked, but I do get that question a lot. All right. Comic Book Fan 1992 said, okay, if you do Witchblade, I can't wait for it. Sir Edmund, have you been listening to Entertainment's Views comic podcast? Because we're going to be ripping apart our best of list of this week. Oh, I'm excited for that. So Elvis, he works with me on Entertainment Views, the website, which is an awesome website that Nicole DeAndrea runs the comic book side of everything there. And I've been working there for a really long time. I would say like 5 years I've been working for that website. It was like the first website I ever worked for. So it's cool. So I'll definitely check that out. And there is a plug. There you go, guys. And we did the best of 2015 list. So I'll be in to. All right. He says, with all respect, of course, to you and the other contributors. Thank you. Hopefully you liked my picks. Comic Book Fan 1992, do you think there should be more cartoons of Marvel and DC comics? I think we have a lot of TV shows out right now. So, I mean, obviously cartoons and animation is a great medium to do comics because it's so close to the comic book medium. But I don't want them to say, hey, we need to make a cartoon and make it crappy. Like, if it's the time, make it. And if it's good, that'll be exciting. And I'll watch it, I'll review it, and hopefully enjoy it. And I take step by step with that because there's so many shows to watch, you know. They keep adding more and more for us to watch and pick from that are comic book related. And I got a Superman cup with tea. Comic Book Fan 1992 said X-Men Evolution got me into X-23. I really love X-23. Yes, X-23, that was her first appearance ever. Like, she was created from that show. I think she became very different from what her first appearance was on the show, but they obviously fleshed her out over the years even more. And it's really cool. That's something that is definitely one of the biggest things that happened from X-Men Evolution was X-23. Just like Harley Quinn from Batman the Animated Series didn't exist until that show. Tevia asks, at first, okay, do you think the Marvel needs to bring back M? At the first, I'm like, what's M? But Earth Mightiest Heroes. Do I think it's not going to happen? I've stated this many times. The things, I feel like I'm like a, broken record here. So I probably won't answer any more of the Ultimate Spider-Man type questions, but I'll answer it once here. But the reason that Marvel's doing it is because they want to target a different demographic. I'm not their demographic. They're trying to target. They're trying to target young boys to watch the superhero cartoons. So I think that's right. I don't know. I think it's great that Marvel's trying to target everyone in different ways with their movies, with their, Netflix shows, and I think that's what they're trying to do. So I think kids have a right to have shows too. Do I think they need to dumb down stuff? No, I think kids can enjoy stuff like Young Justice and Teen Titans, those type of shows, without dumbing it down, but that's their philosophy, and obviously it's doing it well for them in the ratings, or else they wouldn't be doing it. And I don't think they'll return to the previous Avengers show because it did well, but like Young Justice, I think, did better than that show, and that hasn't returned. So, and I know that's a different company, but I don't see them returning to that. Alan says, LOL, keep looking in the back of video to see like Mothman to pop in. I think I get that every show, that someone wants someone to pop up from these windows. No, it's not happen. They're weird windows. But again, this room is comfortable to sit in during these shows. It's a nice couch. And it's not just a chair. You can relax a bit. All right. Amitron says, thoughts about Jonah Hex rumored to appear in Legends tomorrow. I don't think it's a rumor. I'm pretty sure that's been confirmed that he's going to be on it. My thoughts, we talked about this a little bit on Frontline Live. Definitely go check that out for an expanded answer of that. But I'm not a huge Jonah Hex fan, but it should be cool. I think if it's going to be any show, it should be a show about time travel that Jonah Hex pops up with. Tomorrow I should have a video actually for a one-on-one video for Jonah Hex on the Legends Tomorrow podcast YouTube channel. So look forward to that. Charlie M, will you keep watching and reviewing Shadowhunters? I will definitely not be reviewing Shadowhunters because there's a lot going on in Tuesday. I actually stayed up late to watch the show. That way I could review it. But the only reason I was able to review is because there were less shows on that week. I had Teen Wolf and I had Shadowhunters and I had iZombie, which I watched the next day. But usually just hear my Tuesday schedule for TV, which I don't watch all on Tuesdays because also on Tuesdays we have the Frontline Live show. So I really rarely review TV shows on Tuesdays. The reason I didn't review Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which a lot of people asked me to review, but timing-wise didn't have time to do it. But I still watched it, obviously. And so going to it, the shows I watch on Tuesdays, not, I guess, including the new shows. iZombie, definitely. Flash, which I do review because it's right before Frontline Live. Shannara Chronicles now because I think it's an interesting show. Teen Wolf, definitely. I reviewed that right after the live show because that's a big show for my channel. So that's why I review it. And it's up late every Tuesday now. Shadowhunters, I didn't love the pilot. I'm going to still probably watch more of it, but I'm going to make the show continue a bit to see what people are saying about it and see if the show lasts. Continue to watch it all. So I think it's going to end up being a binge show. And then Shannara Chronicles I'm going to watch, but I have a feeling I'm going to probably fall a little behind on. And what else? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., obviously, when that returns, and Agent Carter I'll be watching. So there is a ton of Tuesday shows. And I think there's probably even more than that, like including comedies. So there's a lot of shows I watch on Tuesdays. But reviewing-wise, I'll probably only review Teen Wolf and The Flash for Tuesdays. All right. Sir Ebnon says he's been at Entertainment Fuse for 4 years. I know, it's crazy. Tevye asks, what's my opinion on Supergirl? Yeah, I'll give a short opinion because I feel like I've answered this question a lot too. I think everyone knows my opinion on Supergirl. I love it. I'm a huge Supergirl fan, and I think it does a great job. Go check out my reviews if you want like a longer explanation for that. Comic Book Fan 1992, have you ever read comics? I thought they were okay, not great, but really different take. I don't remember if I have. Like, I've read the Ultimate Universe, like, when they're coming out, those books, so I don't really remember if I did. It doesn't really stick out to me. Probably, no, I probably have, but a really long time ago, so I can't even tell you what happened in it. There's other Ultimate stories I could call back to. I think Ultimate X-Men and Ultimate Spider-Man I could call back to a little bit more, and some of the miniseries, Ultimate Fantastic Four, I could do the same thing with. Kind of the bigger titles that I just remember more, but like Ultimate Iron Man, I didn't really follow up with the Ultimates either, so I didn't care for it as much. But I did like Ultimate Daredevil and Ultimate Elektra too. That was pretty good. Didn't like Ultimate Hawkeye. Tevi has asked if I've read any Valiant comics. I've read them here and there, but honestly, it's kind of hard to get into the universe because it's so much about connecting every book that I feel like you need to have read every book or read Valiant in the past to kind of get into these books. And I feel for me, it's like too long gone. It's hard to get into these books because it's so much, it's separate. It's so much its own universe. So as much as I want to read Valiant books, as I said, it's kind of hard to get into them. So I've read them here and there, but each time it is hard to get into. But I do think they're a cool company. All right. Oh, got a lot here. Hold on. Going up. Okay. The Omnitron, thoughts about Cartoon Network making a new Justice League cartoon based around the New 52 Justice League. I feel like I can't really have that many thoughts on it until we learn more about it, like who's going to be on the team, who's going to be writing the show, what is the show going to look like. So I can't say if it's going to be good or bad until I get that information, which I don't know when we'll get that information. Sir Edmund says, what's your thoughts on the second season of Gotham? I feel it became the best DC show at the moment. I do not watch Gotham, so I can't tell you. I only watched episode 1, and it's just not my thing. All right. Traven Johnson says, so far in the Supergirl series is pretty good. Do you think it would be bigger than Smallville, and do you think it's a good series? Well, rating-wise, it's already bigger than Smallville because they're, it's on CBS, which is a bigger network. I don't know. It's going to be hard. I mean, it's only on its first season, and Smallville lasted 10 seasons, so I think we're going to have to take time to say if it's going to be bigger than Smallville or not. I don't know. And it's different age now. I think superhero television shows were definitely not as around when Smallville was on. And now there's a ton of superhero shows to pick from Supergirl. But I think it's done a really good job at showing Supergirl's mythology and Superman's mythology all in just one season. And other characters' mythologies, like Martian Manhunter, too. All right. The Omnitron says, do you believe that Supergirl show has a serious signs of originally being meant for the CW from the way the intro works for the lack of any Superman does not exist in the CW DC universe? I think it's very much a CBS show. Because of the budget. I don't think they ever thought it was going to be a CW. The reason it feels like a CW show is because the same creators are behind it. So Berlanti, who writes both, or like is behind both Arrow, Flash, and Supergirl, is behind all the shows. So that's why it feels that way. If it was a different creative team, obviously it would feel differently. I don't think it really has to do with the network. Tevye, I've answered the Supergirl question before, so I'm going to skip that. Sorry, I'm just skimming through. Alan Mullen says, it's okay, Kat. I sit in a wooden chair for 8 hours at work. I know how you feel. I'm telling you, it's nice to sit on a couch more. All right. Jeremy says, and this is Mr. J's Comic Reviews. Hey, Kat, how's it going? Your channel has been really expanding over the years. So what is your favorite new segment on both your channel Frontline? That's awesome. That's an awesome question. My new segment on this channel. This is a pretty cool new segment. I like that I could do Q&As every month or try to do them every month. I think this is cool. Everything else on my channel, I feel I've been doing the same thing, just covering different stuff. I try to cover more indie titles. I do more television shows, so I think I'm just trying to do more on my channel and cover new shows too. Covering more new shows is something I've been doing. Comic Frontline, I have a great time. I mean, our live shows I really like. I think that's the best part of Comic Frontline is Frontline Live and Media Madness and all the live shows we do. Also, Comic Uno episode I have a lot of fun doing, even though my throat kills after I do that show. Because like I said, I do, all those videos I put on my channel, I do that all straight through. So all the videos I do on my channel and the Frontline videos, like Comic Uno episode, straight through. So that's like 2 hours and a half of talking. So straight through, just to mention that again. But I love it. I love Comic Uno episode because it's cool to see like what gets in the top 5, what doesn't. I mean, that goes to Frontline Live too. It's really cool to see all our opinions and see if we disagree, if we don't disagree, and we have such a fun time on that show. And then Media Madness, spreading my other love, which pretty much television. I love movies too. So that's really fun. And me and Jay like a lot of the same things. So it's cool to cover that. And we're also very open to covering other stuff. So it's cool to try out new things also on Media Madness. So yeah, I have fun with a lot of these different segments. Great question, Jeremy. And nice to see you, Jeremy. Jeremy is also part of Comic Frontline. Delanto Green, what about your comic daughter like father, like daughter, like father, like daughter into a movie one day? I get this question a lot. Hey, if someone knocks on my door and says, hey, we want to make like father, like daughter a movie, yeah, let's do this. So yeah, I would definitely want to do it. And something I mentioned also is that like father, like daughter is started out as a screenplay, and then I converted it into a comic book. All right, moving on. Alan is waving to Mr. J. All right, Omnitrons, what do you think of the odds, scale to 1 to 10, that we'll see Hal Jordan be a main driving force between the next Arrow Flash crossover special? Odds? Say 5. That's my answer for that, for the crossover. Sir Edmund says, did you enter the Millar World creator contest? If not, any ideas which property you would have chosen? I definitely saw it, and it was a time when I was really busy in school, so I was not able to actually write anything for it, which I was really upset about because I wanted to. What I would have written for probably was Hit Girl, and the reason I didn't have a chance time to read it is because I would have liked to read all the Kick-Ass comics and the Hit Girl comics again to, freshen my memory. I haven't read those comics since they were released, so I would have liked to reread them, so that's why I didn't have time to enter it, but it would have been cool if I was able to. If it was like January, it would have been better than November. And it was cool that Millard did that. All right. Jeremy says Shadowhunters is a show I'll be reviewing for sure. Yeah, definitely. He's going to be reviewing Shadowhunters with Mimi, my good friend Mimi. So they're both super fans of that show. If you want to have a review for that. Omnitron, have you ever considered watching Steven Universe? Actually, yes, I have considered it. Timing, though, I haven't had a chance. I've heard really, really good things from a lot of people, and me and Jay both have not seen it, so we're like thinking one day we'll watch it and do some Media Madness for it. One day in the distant future, we'll do something. I've heard great things. All right. Let's see. Trevon says, do you think Supergirl is a good series, and what do you think fans will like the most about Legends of Tomorrow? Yeah, of course, I think Supergirl is a great series. I love it. I think it embodies everything of Supergirl, and what I've said, and I still stay true to this, is that I think this Supergirl is a really good embodiment of, like, the 2003 Supergirl, like the modern Supergirl, the Supergirl now, and even Silver Age Supergirl. So I think it's a good mixture of everything, even a little Linda Danvers in there. So I love the show, and you can see that they love the source material, and it's a great cast. So I love Supergirl. It's probably my second favorite superhero show. Arrow's still my number one. Supergirl is right now second. So Legends of Tomorrow. I'm part of the Legends of Tomorrow podcast, so I am super excited for the show. And what I think fans are going to like is probably the time travel aspect. I know that's what I'm excited for. And I guess it's cool that it's an anthology show, too. Jeremy says, I'm a huge fan of the novel, so I'm sticking with the show through thick and thin. LOL, I support any Cassandra Clare work. All right. Comic book fans says Supergirl TV show is a different take on Supergirl. Yeah, it is. But I think it definitely, like I said, it embodies all the other Supergirl things we've seen in the past. Even has Laura Vandervoort coming into the show, which I'm really excited for because I'm a huge fan of the actress. All right. We have so many questions. Thank you, guys. I'm so excited about this. Okay. Kat, what's your opinion of Superman Secret Identity, the miniseries? Because in my opinion, I love it. And it tells a great Superman story. That's another series I read a really long time ago, so I don't remember that much of it. Like I said, I read a lot of comics, but I remember liking it when I read it. Mr. J, wonder if we could get Kat to read a Godzilla comic. As of right now, I don't know, but Alan, maybe one day you'll get me to read it. Godzilla Goes to Hell was pretty good. Art, pretty much no dialogue, and that was what Jeremy said. WX, Kat, do you think The Killing Joke being rated R is a great thing? Yeah, I think that story definitely has to be rated R. All right, let's see. Tevye, like I said about the Supergirl comic thing, I've answered that before in other shows, so I'm going to skip that. All right. Sir Edmund says, do you think Supergirl status quo has been made too similar to Clark Kent's? This is a consistent point of between my co-host and I. It's a good question. Honestly, I think there's times where she is very similar to Clark. I would say before Crisis on Infinite Earths, that was a big thing. But after her death, and then her, definitely Linda Danvers days, very different from Superman. So if you want a different take on Supergirl, much darker take on Supergirl, read that run. This is a great run, too. But then after when she came back in 2003, her more modern retelling, I think she really became her own character. So I think the events that happened on Crisis on Infinite Earths made her become her own. And we continue to see that, I think, throughout. Obviously, there's callbacks because they're related. So, and I think Supergirl, you know, a lot of people are saying, like, oh, no, Supergirl TV show needs to have Superman. Or, like, why is Superman not in it? That's the reason. Because they're you know, the writers know that if you bring Superman into it, they're going to compare her to Superman. Or it's like, oh, well, this is similar to Superman. Why, you know, oh, she always needs Superman to, you know, have a good story. And they're proving, like, no, Supergirl is her own character and has her own life. And I think they're doing a great job at that. Do I think Superman will be in the show in the future? Maybe. But I hope it's done in a good way. That's more Supergirl story and not Clark Kent's story. And I think that's what they're trying to divide there. All right. Omnitron says, I feel like Gotham's missing a chance to have Alan Scott as Green Lantern in the show, since Alan was Gotham's hero before Batman, and some of his villains are like Batman. That would be interesting. I just think, I guess, hold on, I don't know why it's buffering. Hold on. Yeah, my part is buffering. Sorry. Okay. Hey, made it. Okay, so I'm going to go back up now because I missed your question. Okay, I think you're talking about Green Lantern and gotta go up. All right, Green Lantern, Alan Scott. Yeah, I think it's just because it's more of this criminal thing going on with Gotham. So I don't think they would ever go the route with, oh, here's all these superheroes. I think they have their own tone. I don't know what that tone is. It's either silly or way too serious. They need to pick one. But I haven't watched it in a while, so I can't tell you. But I don't think they would ever go the Alan Scott route. It's not like the other shows where, like, yeah, let's bring in more superheroes. I think Gotham's very much its own thing in its own tone. Yeah, I don't know why it's keep pausing on my part. Sorry, guys. Tell me if it's pausing on your part also. This is buffering on my side. I'm going to look down. Okay, I don't think it is. But, yeah, my part is pausing a little bit. Okay. Mr. Crispins, evening. Hope you're doing okay. Just curious if you read Robin Wars. Thought it was really disjointed personally. Go check out my review. I did a Robin Wars issue 2 review. You can check out my thoughts. Okay. Moving on. Tevye asks, what's my opinion on Justice League vs. Teen Titans anime series? I haven't heard anything about that, so I don't have an opinion. Yeah, and Jeremy, I mean, I didn't even read this until now, but Jeremy says my issue with Gotham is the fact that it's a really inconsistent tone. Yeah, that was my problem too, and what I've been hearing about it. But that was my problem with the first episode. And again, I haven't watched past it because I'm not a big procedural fan either. So It's very much a villain show, I think, at this point. All right. Comic book fan 1992 says, I don't know how you do comic Uno episode. I love it. It's so much fun. But yeah, on the throat, it's, on my voice, it's a bit hard. And that's why, like, sometimes you'll hear me coughing or, just it's hard. But it's I like doing it straightforward and doing it back to back. It's a bit easier for uploading wise. All right. Sir Edmund says, for Gotham, it makes complete sense, just incredibly campy. Omnitron says, what's your thoughts on the current Batman vs. Superman clips and trailers painting Batman as more of the villain and putting Superman in the more heroic light? Honestly, I've been trying to stay away from anything Batman vs. Superman. Like, I know they have the special and stuff. I haven't been watching it. Because at this point, usually 2 trailers are enough for me. I know I'm going to see the movie, so they don't have to convince me. I'm going to go see it. So I don't want any more spoilers. I don't need any more clips. So for me, I just kind of staying away from all the rest of the news until I see the movie. Pontius88 asks if I've seen Mr. Robot. I haven't. I heard great things about that show. So I think one of these days I'm going to have to watch it. But right now I'm binging Gilmore Girls, and that is 7 seasons. I promised Shay for like years that I'd watch this show, and I'm enjoying it a lot. But I'm only on season 2. So binging wise, I sometimes binge 2 shows at the same time, but not like big shows like that. Usually like a smaller show. So right now my big show, my big accomplishment is Gilmore Girls to binge, and that's going to take me a while. Harry Bean says he's looking forward to Toy Man and Supergirl. I am too. Tevia asks, how did Jeremy become a part of Comic Frontline? I'm pretty sure we've answered this before, Tevia, but I'll answer it again. Jeremy became part of the Comic Frontline because I've known Jeremy for a lot of years. We've done a lot of collab videos together. We've been friends for a lot of years. And we needed some help for doing comic book reviews and TV stuff. And we asked Jeremy because we all know him very well. And we've all done collab videos with him before. So that is how Jeremy joined. And he's doing a great job on and he also wrote for the site beforehand, too. He wrote for our blogger. So he's been with us for a while. And then he started doing videos for us. All right. Omnitron says that a good Valiant comic to start out with is Quantum and Woody. I've heard good stuff about that. Harry Bean says White Martians also will appear on Supergirl. Yeah, I mean, I think we knew that after Martian Manhunter. They announced, I think it was like a day after or whatever, they gave like another plot synopsis of like, yeah, Martian Manhunter is going to have a whole origin episode. So we're going to see White Martians there. All right. Jeremy says, man, Kat, you're a trooper. I cut down my countdown to just top 5. My worst picks. And now it's pausing again on my side. Nope, it's not. Okay, sorry. Jeremy says, man, Kat, you're a trooper. I cut down my countdown to just my top 5 and my worst pick. Reviewing all at once is a struggle. I know. And then I have my in-depth reviews, too. It's a lot, but I'm a trooper. Just to explain it to you guys, though, because I feel like I'm always coughing or like, oh, take a sip of water or whatever. It's just because I'm talking a lot. Gotta rest the voice. All right. Some recommendations from Valiant I'm seeing. Jeremy says Steven Universe is fantastic. If you guys do a Media Madness for it, you should have the real Manos come on. Yeah, that's definitely the plan. We definitely want to try to get Justin on because he's a huge fan of that. Tevia asks if they're avoiding New 52 Supergirl stuff because it's too dark. I just think there wasn't a lot of material there to use. It's just very different. Yeah, I don't see a lot of the New 52 Supergirl, but there was a couple episodes where I saw New 52 Supergirl done right. Like the episode where Supergirl was really angry. I saw a lot of New 52 Supergirl, not because she was just angry. It's just because she was angry about, leaving her home and I thought that was very much like the New 52. So like I said, they're using like all the aspects of Supergirl, which is what I love about the show. They're not just using one iteration of the character, and she's gone through a lot of iterations, definitely. Yeah, Jeremy said the same thing. It actually has a couple of New 52 elements of Kara as well. Yeah, definitely a good amount, but they use the good parts of it, I think. Omnitron says, I heard a rumor the Supergirl show was originally going to be a Power Girl show. Do you think there's any truth to this and was changed just to sell better? I don't think so. I personally don't think a Power Girl show would sell as well as a Supergirl show. Omnitron says, do you think pre-Flashpoint Superman and Lois exist on the New 52 Earth makes an easy out to give New 52 Superman his secret identity back? I think that's the route they're going to go. Okay. All right. Let's see. Sir Edmund says, oh, heck, I was talking about the show. Which show? I'm trying to remember. God King Mope says, hey again, made it to the stream. Hope you're doing okay. Also looking forward to Legends tomorrow. I'm feeling rather oversaturated with the trailers. Sorry if you have answered it. So Legends tomorrow, like I said, I'm part of the podcast, but I have not watched the new trailers, actually. Like I said, the 2 trailers are enough, and I'm just waiting for the show now. I don't want to be the whole pilot to be spoiled for me. All right, moving down. All right, good. Tevia says that it's not pausing on our part, so I guess it's just my internet. Sir Edmund and Tevye are talking about Gotham and its tone. I think Elvis, I think it's more that it's for some people and it's not for others for Gotham. Like me, I just do not like the tone of it very much. Omnitron says, my on Scott, the Green Lantern name came out of nowhere with no explanation. He's made gay because his son Obsidian was retconned out, yet Obsidian showed up later in Earth 2. I don't have much opinion on Alan Scott because I was never a big Alan Scott fan. But I know old Alan Scott fans don't really like this iteration of him. Okay. Yeah, Tevye, I still don't know the Justice League versus Teen Titans anime movie. I just kind of like go one by one. Batman Bad Blood's up next. That's the one I'm concentrating on, and then The Killing Joke. Sir Edmund says that the second season of Gotham actually has been more serialized. It still doesn't seem like my type of show. Maybe I'll try it if like a character I really like pops up, which I heard Barbara Gordon, the actual Barbara Gordon might pop up. Maybe I'll watch it, but it just doesn't seem to interest me. And I am watching right now to add another one. It'd be kind of hard. Jeremy says, hey, Kat, so I have the theory that Indigo might eventually create the Matrix to kill Kara. And when I talk about the show, I say Kara, talk about the comics, Kara. All right, Kara and Alex might jump in the way to save her bonding with Alex, making her a version of Matrix Supergirl. I wouldn't doubt them doing Matrix Supergirl. I don't know if they'll do it in season 1, but I say that a lot, and they're doing a ton in season 1 and doing a great job. So anything's possible, I think. I think along its route, it'll definitely do Matrix Supergirl one day. I think the show will become darker, which in a weird way, but hopefully not for a long time. All right, let's see. People talking about Earth 2. Jeremy says, would you be cool with Alex becoming a version of Matrix since Linda doesn't exist? I think it would be cool to see Alex with power. I think I would like to see that for like an episode. I don't know, because I feel like Alex is already very similar to Linda, like Linda Danvers' character. So I think it'd be cool. Maybe an arc. I I don't know if I would really want to see it for a whole, like, for the rest of the show, her to be the Matrix Supergirl, but I would like to see it because, like I said, I think she's already very similar to Linda's personality, and her last name's Danvers, so. Tevia asks if he could join Comic Frontline. Like I said, Tevia, we're not looking for anybody right now. And also, with people we join Comic Frontline, I've worked with them previously for many years. Same for Chris. I've known Chris since the Young Justice days, and I've worked with them. So, and right now we're not looking, but we'll let you know, Tevia, if we ever are. All right. Elvis says, so Kat, had you been reading Alan Moore's Providence? I believe that's a great series, but it might be putting off some of the obvious reasons. I've not been reading it. Haven't heard much about it. Anishan said, did you hear that Parallax Hal Jordan, that pre-Flashpoint Parallax Hal Jordan is being in the New 52 universe along with Superman and Lois? Do you think this means pre-Flashpoint Barry Allen will? I think anything's possible. I'm surprised they're doing that with Green Lantern and in the Superman stories. I think they're planning something. I don't know what it is, but they're definitely planning something. They're like keeping it hush hush, I feel. All right. Want to load all the comments. Let's see. Going up. Sorry, I lost my place. Okay. My Tyler Durden says, have you ever played the video game series Infamous? It's a game inspired by a superhero comic, more specifically the X-Men comics. Actually, when that first came out, like a trailer for it, I'm like, I really want to play this game. And that was like when I was into video. And it was only for PlayStation, and I don't have a PlayStation, so that's why I've not played Infamous, and I still have it. All right, going down. All right, more Earth 2 talk. Amitron says the only thing Earth 2 and Ultimate Marvel have in common is both went off the rails. But the difference, Earth 2 went off the rails a lot faster than Ultimate Marvel. I agree with that. But I love Tom Taylor's run on Earth 2. But now it's just, I'm just reading it because I've read Earth 2 for such a long time. All right. Tevia says, speaking of Media Madness ideas, I do have one idea for Media Madness that's on Netflix, and it's called Seven Deadly Sins, because in my opinion, the series is awesome for Media Madness. Like I said, Tevia, right now we're really, really booked for Media Madness, so maybe one day, but at this point, we're booked until the end of March, actually, for episodes for Media Madness. Elvis says, about the show comment, Amendez, whether the Supergirl show is making her too much like Clark. Oh, okay. No, I don't. I don't think she's like Clark Kent at all. I think she's like Supergirl. She's like Kara. All right. Jeremy says, actually, oh, okay, they're talking about Earth 2 stuff. And now talk about Earth 1, Ultimate Universe. All right, let's see if there's more questions. Tevia says that DC needs to fix its universe. Same with Marvel. Jeremy said Titans Earth 1 was decent. Yeah, that was okay, I felt. Amitron says, I go nowhere near the New 52 Teen Titans. That series broke my spirits. Yeah, I dropped that for a while, too. All right, let's see. All right, here we got more questions here. Amitron. Hey, Kat, do you think DC's Earth 1 universe should be mainstream DC universe at this point? No, I don't think enough people have read the DC Earth 1 universe to make it the main universe. Because they're in graphic novel forms, and not everyone reads in graphic novels. And they've only come out with a couple of stories, a couple of characters with them. Definitely keep it up with the question, guys. Questions. The Teen Titans thing, Tevia, I think I've answered that on Frontline Live before, so I'm going to skip that. Jeremy says Kat has a whole curse with the PlayStation systems. I do. I've told this story before, I think, on Q&As, but maybe I'll mention it again, but we'll see if you guys are interested. But I have a curse for PlayStation stuff, so I don't get PlayStation. I'm more of an Xbox person. Omnitrons, do you think that DC's plan with the classic version of Superman, Hal Jordan, and potentially Barry Allen is bring them back in the New 52 universe and replace their New 52 counterparts? I think anything's possible. Tevi asks, do you think Secret Wars didn't change anything in the Marvel universe? Not really. Honestly, it didn't really change too much. Except that now it's called, supposedly Marvel's called Prime Earth instead of 616, which is Marvel's weird new thing. They're like, yeah, everyone should call it Prime Earth. Sure, I feel like I'm still going to call it the 616. Jeremy says, Tevi, if you're looking for anime discussion, Chris and I will starting an anime show on his channel, and Seven Deadly Sins is on our list. There you go. So go check that out. Jeremy and Chris are both big anime fans. I dabble in anime. I've watched some here and there, and I look to see if there's any interesting ones. But I'm not, like, Jeremy is much bigger anime fan, and also Chris is a much bigger anime fan than I am, too. Tevia says, okay, Mr. J, I could do that. Where do we start? All right, I don't know what that's all about, but I don't know which one that's what comment that's about. Elvis, well, I guess our opinions on Supergirl are different. Add that to the list of stuff we agree to disagree. Elvis, I think we disagree more on than we agree. But it's great to hear your opinion, and it's great to hear different opinions. Tevia, we've talked about the New 52 and all that stuff before, so I'm going to skip that question. Mr. Tyler Jordan asks, what's your favorite Dwayne McDuffie show? My favorite shows worked on Ben 10, Alien Force, and Ben 10 Ultimate Alien. That's hard because I love Static Shock, but I love Ben 10 also, especially those seasons. I would say Static Shock's my favorite, but Ben 10 Ultimate, Ben 10 Alien Force is a great, great show. I think that's the best season of Ben 10. Elvis says, so you've gotten into JoJo then, Kat. I remember recommending that ages ago. I haven't yet. I haven't. I looked into it. It doesn't seem like my thing, but maybe one day. You never know. Amitron said, I suggest One Punch Man when the English dub comes out. It's basically what if a Superman-level hero is typical anime universe and the hilarity of him being beating everyone so easily. That also doesn't seem like a show that I would love, so I haven't watched it. And like you said, it's not English dub yet, and I mostly always watch English dub unless it's like a favorite show of mine. Like Digimon Try, I did read the sub. What else have I? If like Railgun ever came out with another season, I'd totally read the sub for that. And then Noragami Arigato, I read some of the sub for that. But most of the time I watch dub because it's more Americanized for me. But yeah, and also I feel like I could concentrate on the animation a little bit more if I do the dub. Don't ask me why I couldn't say concentrate. Anyways, I've been talking a lot. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know if I'll watch it. The animation looks a little not like my taste, but I've heard really good things about it. Tevi, I've answered a million times about the Morales mother thing, so go back to Comic Frontline stuff to get the answer about that. My Tyler Durden says, if you like Firefly, you'll like the anime series Outlaw Star. I've never heard of it. And I do like Firefly. It's been a really long time since I've seen it, but let me see. Outlaw Star. Because I always I look up stuff on like the anime list thing. Yeah, this actually looks pretty cool. Is the animation good? It looks interesting. I still have to watch Cowboy Bebop. That's probably the first one I should watch because I heard that's very like Firefly. Jeremy says, so Kat, with Secret Wars now over, how would you bring back the Fantastic Four when they eventually come back? I just hope that they do more superhero stuff. Like, just bring them back and just put them back to the status quo and say, let's be superheroes again, instead of going off to space and doing all that fun jazz. So just make it simple. I don't think they've done that yet. They tried with, I think it was Robinson's Run. They tried it, but it didn't last very long. They went out there and did the Heroes Reborn stuff. Not the TV show. The Marvel arc. Or universe, we'll call it. All right, let's see. Elvis says, do you hope that Digimon Tri dub is as choppy and over the top as the original American dub to the first series? You know, it's weird because, like, I only knew the American dub and I was a kid when I watched it, so I didn't really think, oh, this is very choppy. I just think it's a nostalgic thing to me, so I don't... You turn off your brain when you watch Digimon. And I think with Digimon Tri, though, it's very different from the animation of both Adventures 1 and Adventures 2, that they're going for a more, I guess, artsy look to it, and the animation's a lot better, the storytelling's a lot better, a lot more mature, so I don't think it will be choppy, and I think they're trying to cater to the fans that did watch the original, so I think it's going to be a bit more mature and more of more like the dub, more like the sub. I think. I hope that'd be the first time where I watched the sub before I watched the dub, and I could see the difference. And yeah, Elvis wants it to be choppy. Like Tyler Jordan says, did you know the guys behind X-Men Evolution made Wolverine in the X-Men? I didn't know that, but I guess you could tell with that. I didn't really like the animation of Wolverine in the X-Men, but the story was definitely good. Razzo says, Heroic Legend of Arson is cool, and I don't like anime. Cool. I love strong female animes. Do you guys have any recommendations for that? For like a sci-fi, superhero, strong female anime. I've been really looking for one that's good. So definitely recommend. And try English dub, because, again, I'm more of an English dub person. Tevia, opinion on the Marvel anime as whole. I've honestly didn't watch any of them, so I don't really have an opinion on it. Omnitron says, I have asked this before, but do you think DC has wasted their new freedom to market Shazam, Captain Marvel? Like, why haven't we seen so much as an ongoing with him, or even an animated series? I don't know why we haven't. They just haven't been pushing him. I guess because he doesn't have a movie coming up until like 2020, whenever that's coming out. All right. Mike Tyler Durden says, look up Outlaw Star and Firefly. There are some similarities. Harry Bean says, will Hawkman, Firestorm, and Atom villains show up in Legends tomorrow? I don't know. They've been kind of keeping a hush-hush on which villains they're going to have besides Vandal Savage. All right. Oh, man. This chat is sometimes to scroll down. Hold on. All right, let's see. Do you think... Okay. Tabby asks if I think Starfire and Dick Grayson are going to hook up. I don't think so. If you read this week's issue, I think they're just friends. We'll find out. DNGN, if Like Father Like Daughter becomes very successful, will your next comic expand on that universe or be independent of that canon? Actually, right now, I'm currently working on a different story. So it's a mini series. It's what I want it to be is 4 issues. I'm up to like issue 3 right now, and hopefully I could publish that soon. I've been working on it for like 6 months now, so I would really like to publish that. And it's something really, really different from Like Father Like Daughter. With Like Father Like Daughter, it's very much mixed on the superhero tropes. It's very much a superhero story with a lot of emotion in there and drama. But this is a very psychological story, and it's a lot darker. It's probably would be like a rated M book. So I'm thinking when and where I want to publish that once I finish it. So, but I would love to expand the Like Father Like Daughter universe also. It'd be kind of cool. But at this point, you have to get through arc 1 before that, and I want to make Like Father Like Daughter as the best it can be before focusing on other series. You got to focus on the one series first. Amitron, did you know Wolverine and the X-Men was the same universe as Earth's Mightiest Heroes? I did not know that. Comic book fan says Fairy Tale. I have to watch. I'm not so much into like the medieval type stuff, so I want more of like a grounded show, like more about like. Again, I like superheroes, I like sci-fi, and I like that, but I don't want like otherworldly thing. Like I would like something a little bit more simple because I have looked it up. It just doesn't seem like my thing, but I mean, maybe I'll give it a try, but I haven't really gotten into it. Elvis says, what are your thoughts on the new 10 Cloverfield Lane trailer? It's I wasn't a fan of the first movie, but John Goodman is a natural treasure. John Goodman is, but I've never seen the first Cloverfield movie because I wasn't interested in the found footage thing, and I didn't watch the trailer. Jeremy says, I finally watched Try and I loved it, although it was weird seeing that Matt's name wasn't Matt and Izzy's name wasn't Izzy. I know, and even in my reviews, and I'm glad people accepted it, is that I'm still calling them the American names because I can't. I mean, most of the Japanese names are similar to the American names, like Sora was the same thing. Mimi was the same thing. Tai, I'm pretty sure, was the same thing. So that was easy. But Matt and Izzy, it was weird that I don't even remember their Japanese names. So I'm still using the American names too. So don't worry. Jose Rodriguez, looking for a good independent comic on Kickstarter. Anyone have suggestions? Yes, Jose, definitely. It's not on Kickstarter right now, but My Comic Book Like Father Like Daughter is a Kickstarted book, and it is available. Issue 1 is available on Indie Planet. The links are in every video. It will be on this video after it's posted. So, Like Father Like Daughter issue 1 and issue 2 very soon is going to be available. So, go check that out. Now, in the Kickstarter for issue 3, we're already in the planning stage for. So, hopefully that helps. All right, so Comic Book Fan says that Fairy Tale has great female characters. Aitron, did you hear Frank Miller wants to make a Superman comic where Batman is the bad guy, almost like a reverse of The Dark Knight Returns? Be interesting. I'm not going to answer about the marriages thing, Tevye. I'm sorry. We've answered that way too many times. DNG says, sounds great. I have faith in you. RZQ Public says, do you feel like talking about young Jean Grey and old Logan? I can't decide if it's creepy or cute. Me either. It's weird because I think they're going for like the Kitty Pryde relationship where it's like a father-daughter relationship, but it's weird because they actually had a relationship before. So not Kitty, Jean and Logan. So it's a little creepy to me also. We'll see where it goes. Mr. Tyler Jordan, have you read the Boom Studios comic Klaus or Claus? We're still figuring out how to pronounce that. I'm pretty sure it's Claus. The first 2 issues are great. I've heard great things. I haven't had a chance to read it though, because again, 30 comics this week. But I maybe in trade I'll get it. But I've heard really good things. I know Jay and Brant really liked it. I think Chris did too on Frontline Live or on Frontline in general. Tevye says, I know one anime that's grounded, and that's Death Note. I don't think that's very grounded. That's still it's very dark, honestly, Death Note. I've watched a couple episodes here and there, but it's a really, 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 really dark show. Main character is also really hard to like, but that's the point of his character. DNGN, who is the next villain you would like to see in MCU? Marvel needs more villains than Loki. I don't know. For me personally, I always like seeing more heroes than like, oh, that's the villain I like to see. So I never think of a villain, but I mean, honestly, the TV shows have done really well with the villains, like Kingpin and Purple Man were great villains, and even Ward in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been great. So I think the TV shows do better with the villains than the movies, and they're in the same universe. Amitron, a good anime is Samurai Flamku. I think it's Flamku. Think a good softer version of Kick-Ass that pays tribute to stuff like Power Rangers and old school live action superhero shows. I heard that was pretty good. My Tyler Durden, any video games you want to see, get a comic book series. I'm not a huge video game person. The only video games I really play is like Rock Band or Super Smash Bros. Play a lot. Call of Duty. So it's a really weird mixture. But I used to be a bigger gamer than I was. Like in high school, I used to play a lot. I used to know all the games that are coming out. But now, time-wise, I haven't been playing a lot. And honestly, I feel like video game adaptations of comic books usually aren't that great. I remember there was a time when they were doing them so often. When the first Mirror's Edge came out, they were doing a lot of video game adaptations. Mr. J says, or Jeremy says, Psycho-Pass is a good anime. It's a good thinking anime. Had a good themes about social justice and moral ambiguity. Don't know why I can pronounce that or anything today. Hold on. I heard that was really good also. That and there's another Psycho one that was good. See, I know a lot of them. I just haven't seen that much anime, but I know of a lot of them. Also, my good friend Tony, Black Critic Guy, does a lot of great anime reviews that helps me figure out what to watch. All right. Tevye, like I said, I'm not a big video game fan. So Halo, I'm not going to even watch probably. Although I played Halo 3 a lot when that was popular. After that, not so much. DNG says, have you tried Comic Fix? It's supposed to be like a Netflix of indie comics, but I didn't know anyone else's experience with it. I've never heard about it until now. So, Elvis says, what do you think about Miller planning an all-ages Carrie Kelly comic? Well, that'll be interesting. I guess I'd try it, see what it's all about. All right, let me zoom down. Chat is always hard to get. Yeah, definitely keep it up with the question, guys. Questions. Amitron, what is your overall opinion of Marvel using Inhumans for mutants in the movies? Because I know some people who are ticked about it. Personally, I say it works and gives Jack Kirby creation a boost. I'm not a huge Inhumans fan, but I think they're doing a good job in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show with Inhumans. I keep saying my Tyler Durden, but I don't think it is it. So I'm just gonna end Tyler Durden. Says, what is your thoughts on Kevin Smith directing a Flash episode? Can't wait. Love Kevin Smith. Weird that he's not doing an Arrow episode because he actually worked on Arrow. He wrote Arrow for a while. So he created Mia Dearden actually, who is based on, or Thea is based on Mia Dearden's character. Elvis, how do you feel about Thor co-creator joining Fox's Flash Gordon movie? As someone who disliked the Thor movies and loved Flash Gordon, this is worrying news. I could probably care less about Flash Gordon, so I don't really have an opinion on that. Tyler Durden, so what have you heard about the Wonder Woman Earth 1? I've heard nothing. I've heard that it's been delayed forever. I think I've pre-ordered it a long time ago on Amazon, and whenever it comes in the mail, I'll review it. But yeah, they've delayed that thing for a really long time. I'm excited to read it whenever it does come out. Tevye asks about Civil War 2. Go check out Comic Frontline. We've talked a lot about that there. DNG, do you think Wonder Woman Earth 1 will be better book than Legends of Wonder Woman? I can't really rate Legends of Wonder Woman only because I've only read the first issue, and I think it can get better from there. And the creative team seems really cool, so I can't tell you. And I haven't read Wonder Woman Earth 1, so I don't know. I think it would be nice to have it all in a graphic novel and have it all at once instead of chapters and issues like Legends of Wonder Woman, but I can't really say anything until that comic is over, and both are over. Okay, let's see. Tyler Durden, what are your favorite film directors? A few of mine is Michael Bay, David Fincher, Christopher Nolan. I'm not a big Michael Bay fan. Favorite directors? I really like David Lynch. I think he's interesting with a lot of his stuff, like Mulholland Drive. Of course, Christopher Nolan. Who else do I really like? It's Kevin Smith. I really do like as a director. I wish I could say more female directors, but I wish there was more female directors out there. Those, from the top of my mind, those are some of my favorite directors. All right, moving on. DNG said Kevin Smith should kill off Jay Garrick because he dies. He shoots. I'm even supposed to be here. Omnitron says Diamond's Flash Gordon series is darned good. I remember I saw the TV show a really long time ago, like the remake one, like when that came out, and I thought it was gonna be a Flash show because I was really young. Not really young, but I was younger, so I was like, "Oh, Flash is getting a TV show," and my dad's like, "This is a totally different guy." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I watched the episode and I didn't really like it, and I don't know if it's supposed to be good or not, but I only seen that one episode. Deborah Black says, "Did you see Fantastic Four?" I have. I don't like it. I do like the originals, though. I really do like kind of the corniness to it, and how aged it is now. But obviously not the best Fantastic Four movies, but I like those much more than these new ones. And I think more people have appreciation for the old ones now that they've seen this new one. And I've always liked them. I've always had a fun time with the old Fantastic Four movies. Tyler Jordan said Kevin Smith directing Arrow might happen. I hope so. I think that makes a lot of sense. All right. Yeah, keep coming with the questions. I want to see if there's any on Twitter that I didn't miss because I know I got one before. Nope, we're good. Cool. Gonna take a sip of tea as we get more questions. I know there's more, but I just want more to build up. Let's see how much time we have left. We have about like 30, 40 minutes left. Keep coming with the questions. All right, let's see. Tevia, Convergence versus Secret Wars. Which event was better or worse? I personally, they were both not great. I'd probably go with Convergence. I think Secret Wars had better miniseries, but it went on for so long that affected the whole Marvel Universe. Convergence only lasted 2 months, so that's how I'm rating it. Omnitron says he thinks that Secret Wars was more fun, like having these weird and fun Marvel Universe show up. DNG said, "What do you look for in a strong female character?" It's a good question. I look for dimensions, I would say. I don't think a strong female character has to be powerful, you know? I think, I don't even think a strong female character has to be a superhero, obviously. It doesn't. Or has to be like, oh, I'm going to kick your butt. Honestly, there's some characters that I feel are weak that could kick your butt because they have no dimensions. I feel a character should have good emotional arcs, and that's what I try to do with Casey and like Father Like Daughter, and that's how I personally feel you do a strong female character. Now, my opinion, like Black Widow in the Marvel movies, I know a lot of people like her, but I don't think she's a strong female character. I know she could kick your butt, but she doesn't have that many dimensions as of yet in the Marvel Universe because they haven't had time to explore them. So even though I think Scarlett Johansson's a great actress too, I don't feel like she's a strong female character. Honestly, my opinion, the strongest female character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, movie-wise, we're not talking about TV shows, is Pepper Potts, because they had a lot more time to explore her stuff, and you see a big difference of her first appearance of Pepper Potts and her last appearance of Pepper Potts. So hopefully that answers this question. All right. Elvis says that the second season is better for Flash Gordon. Never gets good, though. Tyler Durden, how do you feel of Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross of the band 9 Inch Nails doing the music for Batman Project? No opinion at all. Elvis, what do you think of Neil Patrick Harris being cast as Count Olaf in the Netflix series Unfortunate Events series? Another thing I don't have a really big opinion on. I seen the first movie when it came out. I was young. I've never read the books, so not a big opinion on that. Omicron, out of any lesser-known teams or heroes, who do you think should show up in any DC or Marvel show, comic, so on? That's a hard question. Ask me more. Do I want to see this character show up? I think that's a bit easier. That's a what if question. Oh, that's a what if for the Nine Inch Nails. I don't have a big opinion on the band. Omicron, do you think Kamala Khan is one of Marvel's better new characters? Yeah, definitely. I love Kamala and what they've done with that character. I'm not going to answer the Mary Jane Spider-Man question, Tevia. Definitely answered that many times. Okay. So definitely keep going with the questions right now. I think we're out of questions. So keep them coming as we go along. Let's see if there's any on Twitter or Facebook. Go look. Because again, sometimes people do it on the Twitter. On the Twitters. Nope. See Facebook. Let's see. All right, doesn't look like anything yet. So keep coming with the questions. I'm gonna not stall, but I'm gonna make the feed go for like another 2 minutes and see if we have any more. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying the Q&A. I guess as we go along, anything you guys want to see on the channel, things you want to see on Comic Uno, things you like about the channel. Let me know in the comments below. We could do that also. Comic Frontline, same thing. Things you want to see, things you like about the podcast, or ask that. You can ask like father, like daughter questions. You could ask obviously about comics and TV. So keep those coming. So this week we have a lot of the TV shows returning. We have Arrow returning, which I'm super excited about. We have Flash returning, which I'm not so excited for this episode, with Patty and maybe Barry revealing his identity. I'm not totally excited, but hopefully surprised with what happens. I hope I have the Flash review on time. I'll let you guys know. I have some cool interviews coming up on Tuesday, but probably be posted Wednesday. I'll tell you more information about that when they're actually posted. So there's some cool interviews there. So look forward to that. And then other shows coming up. Oh, Legends Tomorrow this Thursday too. That's gonna be really exciting. And also we're gonna have like our first episode kind of recap, obviously, of the show. We're recording that Thursday right after the show. Updates also, Heroes Reborn review will be a little late because of Legends Tomorrow and because we have to record. Actually, we did get a question in the Twitter, so I'll answer that after. Yeah, Heroes Reborn review will be a little late. Also, Media Madness, we're going to have next Monday. So not this Monday, next Monday. We're going to have a Heroes Reborn Media Madness at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So look forward to that. This weekend, I'm going to Heroes Villains Fan Fest, which is awesome. And I have a press badge for that, so hopefully I get some interviews at that. I'll be doing tweets for the event for DC TV podcasts. So all on Twitter, I'll inform you for that. So I'm really excited about that. So it's a busy week coming up. Supergirl kind of returns this Monday too. So lots and lots of shows. All right, let me answer the Twitter one and then we'll look at the feed. Let's see. Ron Keith, I don't know if this is just a question. Let's see if it's for the Q&A. Yes, it is. Should DC use different actors to play the same characters, one for a movie and one for a TV show? I think that's what they're doing. They're two different universes. So I say yes, because then you get a little confused of what universe is what. All right, now we definitely got some more questions. Moving up. All right. Elvis, which series are you most excited for in DC's new anthology series? Oh, I don't know. Like, I'm just kind of taking that issue by issue. I'm pretty sure you're talking about the Legends of Tomorrow series. Take an issue by issue. Alan says, Tevye, oh Tevye. I don't know what that's about, but... All right, more questions. DNGN. If you could kill off any character from the big two, who would it be and why? I don't know. Haven't they killed off everybody? I don't know. I don't want anyone to be killed off if it's going to be a ploy for sales. Tyler Durden says, do I think Greg Wiseman will ever have a show that passes 30 seasons? I hope so. Jeremy, Kat, have you listened to the Woman of Marvel's podcast? I've been listening to it between classes. It's really interesting. I haven't. Maybe I'll give it a try. RZQ Public says, what is fun nowadays? Any books with a lot of humor? I think fun... That's a good question. I don't think fun really has to do with humor. It's something you have a fun time with. And I think that has to do with more of what comics you like more, you know? It's more about your personal interests. Like, I have fun with characters just bantering with each other. Not bantering, but like a Buffy type dialogue, you know? I have fun with that. You know, even though that show's really dark, they still have fun banter with each other. So I think fun means different to all people, not just because it's modern days. It's just because everyone has a personal preference. So I don't think it has anything to do with humor. We just say fun. DNGN, could you review your favorite or least favorite trades on your channel? I usually don't do trades because I just have a lot of single issues I do, but I do my favorite comics or, you know, comics I really want to read on Comic Frontline. So right now I am reviewing all of Spider-Girl. I've reviewed Spider-Girl issues 1 through 100 on Comic Frontline. I'm up to Amazing Spider-Girl issue 3, or now issue 4. So I'm reviewing all of Spider-Girl there, which is a dream come true, and I love it. I've also reviewed Jessica Jones. I feel like, have I reviewed anything else? I think that's it right now for back issues. And now I'm planning to either review Saga or Witchblade. Still deciding. All right. Tevye asks if I'll ever do a trade review for Teen Titans, the Pre-Nuke 2. I think there's a good chance of one day maybe doing a series for that, because I love the Teen Titans, especially Jeff Johns' run. Jose, with new Walking Dead comic and TV season upon us, what is your favorite issue and episode? I do not read the Walking Dead comics, so I don't have a favorite issue. Favorite episode, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not a huge Walking Dead fan. I watch the show. I like it. I don't love the show. My favorite episode, probably The Grove. That was a really well-done episode. DNGN. Are there any characters you believe deserve their own solo title? There's many characters I believe deserve their own solo title. Mayday, for one. Others, one that I have not ever seen have a solo series I would love to see is Carol Ferris. I think she's very much always in the shadow of Hal, and it'd be kind of cool to see her own adventures as a Star Sapphire, and also her working for Ferris Air and trying to balance both. So that's something I think DC should do, and they do need more female lead books. Marvel's definitely trying, and has a lot. So I think DC should have more, and I think Carol Ferris is a great person to have. Elvis, what is your favorite trade you got for the holiday season, if you did? I think I got the omnibus for Alias. I got a Stan Lee book. And I got Witchblade. So I think Witchblade would be my favorite because I've been meaning to read that book. DNG thinks that Red Hood would benefit from a solo book. Favorite Teen Titans incarnation as a whole, Tevye asks. Not written from Lobdell. So I can't even pick the New 52. Oh, no. Jeff Johns' run. The beginning of that Teen Titans run was really well done. And it was okay. But Jeff Johns' run. Or Jeff Johns' volume, I would say, because there's other people that wrote it after him, but that's my favorite. Going up. Tyler Jordan, if Marvel ever makes a new X-Men cartoon, who would you like to voice Kitty Pryde? I'd cast Ashley Johnson. I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't know. I have to get back to you on that. All right, so people talk about Tim Drake. All right. People talk about DC. Jose said, with the new Walking Dead comic and season... Oh, no, he reacts that. Tevye asked if I have any opinion on reviewing The Darkness. Have to read Witchblade first and see if I like that, to see if I want to review The Darkness. Elvis says, have I read Paul Levitt's new Dr. Fate run? It's finally finished its arc, and so what are your thoughts? I read the first issue. Sorry. I read the first issue. I didn't really like it that much. Again, me and Elvis have very different opinions on stuff. Amitron said he loves it, though. Jeremy, so Kat, are you going to catch up on Star Wars Rebels soon? Or are you at least going to watch the Princess Leia series, since I know that she's your favorite original trilogy character? I don't know if I'll catch up with all Rebels yet, but I will 100% watch the Princess Leia episode. I probably won't review it, but I'll definitely watch it. Tyler Durden, ever thought about pitching a comic project to Image or Dark Horse or Boom? Yes, I have. And I'll say maybe the series I'm writing now is something I'm thinking of pitching. You never know. All right, Tevye, questions on opinion are, so I know nothing about Bayonetta, so no opinion on that. Elvis, Carol Ferris solo. Keep Vendetti away from it. He ruined Carol after Johns had finally gotten her to a place with her own freedoms. Elvis, we agree. Yes, I totally agree with that. Vendetti didn't really do anything with her, honestly. And Jeff Johns put her in a place where she was an awesome, strong female character, and I miss that Carol. And then she went into New Guardians with Kyle, and it was so weird. And it wasn't even about her. It was about her following Kyle. And that's why I think she kind of deserves to have her own series. And, you know, Marvel's doing so well with the solo female series. I'm not saying Carol Ferris has to be a fun series or a light series, but I think it'd be a really cool chance to have a Lantern character that is both in space and on Earth. And, you know, something I've been wanting for Hal for a while. And I think Nova really does a good job with that, where he is a space-like character, but he does more on Earth. And I would really like to see that with Carol. Maybe, you know, have some space adventures, but maybe hero for Earth and kind of discover herself there. So, yeah, do something with Carol and make her out of the shadow of Hal and just give her more. Give more to Carol Ferris. So I've been saying that for a really long time. Tevye says an away from Bendis, and Jeremy says that Bendis has not written for DC. I like Bendis personally, so I like Bendis' writing. All right, let's see. DNG says, keep the Carol Ferris series on the ground for a while. Way too much space stuff going on in the Green Lantern books. You 100% agree. Again, I think she is a character out of all of them who would benefit for being on Earth and maybe seeing her own supporting cast at Ferris Air. You know, she just hasn't done that in a while. And every single time she's in Ferris Air is always like, oh, I can't be a hero. And she puts the ring in the box. How about she's like, I could be both. I don't have to be like Hal and escape my problems and go to space all the time. I could be a hero on Earth, still be, you know, a Lantern, and be Carol Ferris running Ferris Air and maybe deciding maybe she wants to fly more instead of run the company. It can actually be a really cool internal conflict. So, see, I should make this Carol Ferris book happen, right? If only. Okay. Tyler Jordan says, ever read Marv Wolfman's run of in Perez's run of Teen Titans comic? Yes, I have. Not as much as the second generation Teen Titans, but I have read here and there that run. What, Elvis? Gosh, facial hair bros was so bad. I love that. Totally different opinions on that. I love that bit. I think his Iron Man run's great. Omnitron says that Boba Fett is the best Star Wars character. Still think Leia, come on, Princess Leia is awesome. All right, let's see. Looks like they're talking about Boba Fett. We gotta go up. Tyler Jordan, what's your favorite Alan Moore comic? I feel like it's really, really cliche to say, but Watchmen, and I've read Watchmen a lot, and I did a paper in freshman year, just like all semester, watching the Watchmen movie thousands of times and reading the comic over and over again, and looking at scholar articles on it. It just made me appreciate the source material a lot, but also appreciate the movie a lot. So I go with Watchmen. DNG says, what do you think about Star Sapphire's relationship with Kyle? You know, I was open to it, but then it wasn't that good. Like I said, she was just kind of following Kyle around, and it was weird. It was pretty much there. It says, oh, you can't have Hal, and it was more because it's like, hey, we don't want you with Hal anymore, but we still want to use you, but you have to be in a relationship with somebody. Put you with Kyle. Random relationship. And I didn't think they had good chemistry either. Tyler Jordan, what's your favorite Grant Morrison comic? I don't have one. I'm really not a Grant Morrison fan. Omnitron, does anyone else remember that Green Lantern has a legit Earth villains? I agree. Again, put him on Earth again. RZQ Public, We Can Never Go Home was awesome. Have you read other Black Mask comics? I think I've read one. I love We Can Never Go Home, as I'm sure you knew because the way you structured the question. I've read, I think, one other Black Mask comic. I didn't really like it that much, but I'm definitely open to reading more because I loved We Could Never Go Home. Elvis, haha, glad we finally agreed, Kat. I hope the Carol series would be more mature and not on the line of teen-ifying the recent Batgirl Black Canary. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I'm saying, for me, I think some series work with that. I'm not saying Batgirl and Black Canary does. I don't think DC has had much success as Marvel has had with making more fun series. Fun or lighter series, we'll say. But yeah, Carol does not need to be teenified at all because it's not her character. I mean, neither was Black Canary, but yeah. I think Carol would really benefit of, I love that we're talking about Carol so much. I think she would really benefit from just, and not an average DC book, but something that looks similar to other DC books or even other Green Lantern books, but make it her story. You know what it would benefit of? Starfire. Starfire is a really good example of making a fun book and what that fits the character. And I think Starfire would be kind of a cool tone for Carol. It's so many stars in that sentence, but not the lighter tone, like obviously not a naive tone, but I like the maybe less comedy also. But I like the mixture of how they deal with the villains and also like her social life. That's what I'm talking about, like that type of thing going on with Carol. You know, balancing Carol's life, but also being a lantern. All right, more Star Wars. Tavia, we've totally answered about legacy, so I'm not answering that. Going up. Sorry. This chat, let's see. Green Lantern, it looks like, I'm trying to go. Okay, here we go. Ron Peterson, Thea and Sarah bloodlust story. How does it end? We don't know how Thea's ends. Sarah ends with going to Legends of Tomorrow. Tyler Durden, ever read the Justice League Beyond comics? Not a big Batman Beyond fan, so no. Always says we agree and then we disagree. That's the fun. Jose asks, what's my favorite ongoing comic series? That is really hard to say. I mean, my favorite ongoing comic book series of all time is definitely Amazing Spider-Girl. Favorite ongoing series right now from 2015 was Archie. DNGs, who's your favorite Green Lantern? You could pick the cores if you don't like the Earth's current ones. I mean, I've always liked Hal. He was always my Green Lantern. Tyler Durden, have I ever watched Stargate? No, I have not. Jeremy says, yeah, Green Lantern hasn't had a balance since John's left. I totally agree with that. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Shose Azada says, what is your favorite music? Go to my favorites. That is pretty much all the music I listen to. Favorites playlist. Elvis, the worst thing about Kyle Carroll was that it was consciously turning her into Alex, and she was cool with it after a while. Yeah, I agree. I stopped reading it for a while because it was weird. I wanted to read more of Carroll, and that's why I read it at first. But yeah, I agree with that. Piece of Garbage asks, what is your favorite all new, all different Marvel title at the moment? That's hard because they've all just started, but I guess my favorite, The Mighty Thor, is really good. I like Invincible Iron Man personally. It's hard. Yeah, from the top of my head, those are two I really like. Miss Marvel's pretty good. Hamichan said, what's so wrong with not doing a space opera stuff in Green Lantern? It was fun and can be used every once in a while. I always felt Green Lantern Earth-based mostly, Green Lantern Corps space. I agree. That's why I like the Green Lantern series more than the Corps series. Jeremy says Kyle was the Lantern I started with, so he's my favorite. And then he stopped making him hook up with female heroes. Tyler says Nathan Fillion played Hal Jordan in a live-action Green Lantern film. Yes or no? Should he? I think he's a bit older now, so I don't know, but I think he did a great voice acting for Hal. Amitrend says he likes the new Batgirl series. I like aspects of it. I like the Batgirl series more than the Black Canary series. I still miss Gail Simone's run on it. I think I don't like the inconsistencies of the story. I like that it's fun, I guess, but I don't like that it's fun and then you lose a lot of the continuity because of it. So that's the part I don't really like about it. I think it could stay a little bit more true to Barbara's character. Sean said Black Canary, though? No. The one part I like about Black Canary is this White Canary story going on. Like, I'm curious about that, but everything else is not the best. All right, going up. DNG, do you have a favorite JSA character? Stargirl. It's my favorite. And also Jesse Quick / Liberty Bell. All right, going down. Talk about Beast Boy, it looks like. And then DC. All right, let's see. RZQ, do you feel like talk about current Superman stories, compare and contrast? I'm not reading the current Superman stories because I don't really like them that much. So the only one I'm reading, and I dropped Superman, Wonder Woman for a little while because of Vandal Down, or yeah, I think it's Vandal Down. No, yeah, Vandal Down, which is really weird because I'm thinking Vader Down. So I dropped it for a little while, and I'll pick it up again once it looks interesting. So I'm not reading a lot of Superman books right now, besides Superman American Alien. Let's see how much. All right, I say we'll go for another like 15 minutes. No, I lost a chat because I clicked on one of your profiles. All right, let's go back up. All right, here we go. Let's see. Going down, going down. Talk about Hal more. All right, going down. Talking about Wally. Hal Jordan. Some people like Guy Gardner a lot more. Looks like. I lost my place once again. Some people like Alan Scott. All right, so Elvis said, who would you like to see in DC's workplace comedy for NBC? Honestly, I don't even know why they're doing a workplace comedy, so I don't know. Taking that one as it goes along. Oh, and that's all the questions it looks like for now. So let's actually go with the last set of questions here. So I'm going to talk for another 2 minutes. We'll get the last set of questions, and then we will be closing off the Q&A. All right. Sorry, I was looking at Twitter. All right, so yes, last minute questions. Again, to be about my channel, what you want to see coming up, reviews, TV shows, movies. If you like this Q&A, let me know in the comments. I hope to do another one in February. I can't believe February is coming up already. I feel like January went so quickly. Now Deadpool coming up. I'm really excited about that. It's going to be coming up soon. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in February to look forward to. Bidden's coming back. I'm excited about that. If you like Laura Vandervoort from Smallville, definitely go check out Bidden. I'll be doing reviews for that. Okay, let's see those last minute questions. Amitron, since I haven't seen Jaime since the beginning of the New 52, bring Ted back and see where it goes from there. So they're just talking about Blue Beetle. Tyler Durden, what's your thoughts on Ben Affleck directing the upcoming Batman film? I think it's good because Affleck is a pretty good director. He did win. I don't think he won the Oscar, but Argo won a lot of Oscars. I know Argo won Best Film I'm pretty sure, that year. But it was a big controversy that Affleck wasn't up for director that year. Amitron asks if Peter has become the Ted Kord in Marvel. Maybe at this point. I never thought about it that way. Ron Peterson asks, what do you think about the Mockingbird spinoff from S.H.I.E.L.D.? I think it should be Skye with the spinoff, but like actress who plays Mockingbird a lot. Actually, I agree. Yeah. I like Mockingbird and I like the actress also, but I think Skye kind of has so much of her own story. She would benefit more from a spinoff. DNG, do you think DC needs more upbeat books like Starfire? If so, who should it star? I don't want to say yes, only do upbeat comics. Like I like a mixture of good, it depends on the character. I think for Starfire, it worked. It worked for her being naive, and I think Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti is doing a great job for that book. I think they just need to do more solo books. I would really like to see and give more characters a chance to have a solo book. RZQ Publix, and what other comic communities are there? I hear Comic Amino is really good, but I'm usually just part of Comic Vine because I've been part of that for a very long time. But yeah, Comic Amino I heard was good. Do you think a Deadpool Adult Swim show could work? They have a movie now, so I don't think they would do a show. Anichan, what do you think of Peter Parker being called the poor man's Tony Stark? I'm personally not liking this arc that much in general for Peter. Tyler Durden, if you could direct a superhero film, what would it be? Spider-Girl, or, of course, my own, like Father Like Daughter. Elvis, if you could reimagine any character, who would it be? Like, really reimagine, no limits. I don't know. Maybe Carol Ferris, because I talked so much about her already. Let's see. All right, I'm going to do a couple more. Omicron, do you think that Dr. Fate series, including Dr. Fate into the New 52 Earth, we could see a new take on Just Society on the mainstream Earth? Never know. DNG says, I hear of you from Comic Vine. Awesome. Did you find me because of Comic Vine? Tyler Jordan, how has Mark Millar not written Deadpool? I don't know. All right. Cool. So I think those are all the questions pretty much. So yeah, I'm going to probably close up the show now. But thank you guys for joining. If there's any last minute questions, I'll try my best to answer them after the show, post show. And thank you guys for joining. Like I said, I'm going to try doing so, or if I hit, what are we up to now? 8,000 subs. I think I'm like 200 or 250 away from that. So maybe when I hit that, I'll do another Q&A. So we'll definitely see. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Again, there's a lot of stuff coming up from me this week, so look forward to all that. And I'll see you guys later. This is Comic Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. All description below, there's links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later. Bye.